What happens when your Locksport Mojo is suddenly gone? Like completely gone. Like non-existent. Do you get what I'm saying? What do you do? Is this it for you and your dreams of becoming the next lockpicking lawyer or the next Lady Locks? Is this it? Do you need to leave Locksport? Like hang your head in shame and exit stage left? No, people, quit being so dramatic. I've been there so many times. Just because you woke up today and your hands have betrayed you and you can no longer pick a single lock, that doesn't mean you have to suddenly quit Locksport altogether. This is a phenomenon that, happens to us all several times in our Locksport journey. It doesn't just happen once, it happens a lot. A lot of us don't really talk a lot about it, or when we talk about it, we talk about it in a joking manner because we try to make light of it. But it is a serious thing that a lot of people call being in the doldrums, because you feel like you're kind of like out at sea on a life raft and there's no way to get back on course. Fish Picks did a great video about the Locksport doldrums, and I'll actually leave a link to it in the description of this video. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. There are things that you can do to kind of keep yourself busy and still immersed in the Locksport community, and making progress in your picking journey, even when you can't necessarily pick a lock. I promise you, there are ways.
Still an idiot.
You can take a break from actually picking locks and still find plenty of things to do that are Locksport related. So you can't pick a lock, but you could still share your knowledge and skill by mentoring somebody. So take a break and just mentor a couple people. Maybe it's getting through a certain lock or showing them how to learn how to tension better. You could actually help them. Get on the Facebook groups or the subreddit, and if you see somebody having a hard time, reach out and offer to help them and mentor them for a little while. In fact, if you're into progressing through the belts in the LPU belt system, being a mentor is one of the requirements for the higher belt rankings. So you've got to do it sooner or later. You might as well do it while you are experiencing some, downtime with your picking. Kind of kill two birds with one stone type of deal. You might find it so satisfying rooting for somebody else and being the reason that that person actually gets their lock picked open. It can actually give you a sense of accomplishment and pride, and sometimes that's all you need to kind of get your mojo back. You could build a challenge lock. Take a break from picking and build a truly horrifying experience for another lock picker. You can actually test and improve your skills by building a challenge lock. There's a whole Discord server dedicated to challenge lock building, and it might give you a chance to meet some people that you might not normally cross paths with. Plus, you can really actually learn a lot about picking a lock from building a lock. And then you can set it loose on an unsuspecting picker and watch them pull their hair out trying to figure it out. It can be very enjoyable. I mean, ask Harry Bow or Jay Gabriel or Picksmith or John Holistic or Lockchuck or Tinny or, the list goes on and on. I could name so many challenge lock makers, and they all get joy out of torturing other pickers. They just don't like to admit it out loud sometimes. That little bit of evil that you do when you make a horrible challenge lock for another picker really can be satisfying. And sometimes that's all you need to get your mojo back. Try your hand at pick making. Sometimes it's fun to take a break from locks and focus on the tools instead. There are plenty of amazing pick makers in the community that would be more than happy to help you figure things out. Plus, there's so many great YouTube videos about pick making out there. Again, this gives you a chance to interact with people you may not normally interact with in just the picking community, and it helps you build yet another skill that you can use in Locksport. Knowing that you built something from basically nothing to this useful tool, that can be really, really satisfying, guys. And then hearing about how beautiful it is from all of your peers, complimenting you on what great work you've done, all that stuff, that's all that great sense of happiness and pride and accomplishment. That's sometimes all you really need to get your mojo back. You could make a YouTube video about what to do when you lose your mojo. This will not only help other people, but you're making this great video, everybody's going to watch it, then they're going to hit that like button, then they're going to subscribe to your channel, then it's going to go viral. And you know what? All that is going to make you feel so amazing. And sometimes that's all you need to get your mojo back. Or not. Anyway.
Ah, you're so full of shit.
Up. Sorry. You could try a different style of picking altogether. So if you are picking pin tumblers mostly, you could switch to disty-tainer locks or dimple locks or lever locks. So there's plenty of different types of locks that you could be picking, and you can switch. If you've not tried one before, you can maybe switch to it. You get to learn a new skill. Again, maybe meet some people that you might not normally come into contact with, you know, and let's face it, when you're first starting out with a new style of picking, you're not really expecting to just get open after open right away because it's something new that you're trying. So when you do get one of those locks open, it's going to feel absolutely amazing, and sometimes that's all you need to get your mojo back. All right, this one might sound a little bit crazy, but try picking some really, really hard challenge locks. So stuff that is like next level that you wouldn't normally try because you know it's too hard. This way, you're not putting any pressure on yourself at all because you obviously wouldn't think you'd get them open anyways. Even if you had all your mojo, you still probably wouldn't get them open. But it still gives you something to do with your hands, something to keep yourself busy. You might even get one open and surprise yourself because 9 times out of 10, when you get your mojo back, you get your mojo back plus like you level up as well. So I don't know how that happens, but it's like you lose all ability to pick, and then when you gain it back, it's like plus 10. So I don't know what happens, but you might just all of a sudden be working on a challenge lock that you're not expecting to get open. And, you know, because you're not expecting to open it, you're kind of more relaxed. You're just kind of feeling the vibe. And then all of a sudden, it'll pop right open, and you just, you know, that feeling right there is all you need to get your mojo back. Anyhow, guys, don't freak out if this is happening to you. It happens to all of us many, many times over our picking journey, and you just have to find ways to deal with it. I hope that you can figure something out, and if you have any suggestions on what you can do, leave it down in the comment section. You know, this is an open discussion. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Go clean your lock lab or something, but don't just give up and think that the worst is coming and you're going to end up having to leave Locksport because you can't pick anymore, because it will come back to you. And like I said, you'll be a level up anyway, and it's gonna feel great. You just have to wait it out. It happens to us all. It's why I'm making this video. So like, share, subscribe, and maybe this will get a whole bunch of views, and that'll make me so happy that I'll get my mojo back. I don't know, whatever. Smooches.